Welcome back to the Analogy Lab. So far, we've spent our time up front in the cockpit and back in the cabin with the crew. Today, we're going somewhere most people never go, the engine room. This is Series 3, where we build the automated systems that keep the whole aircraft running. This is the power platform, and Copilot is down here too. Here's the thing about this engine. Most Microsoft 365 users stick to the standard apps and never look at it. But every organization is sitting on top of an engine that can do far more than manual work. In Series 1, we looked at the cockpit, the productivity tools. In Series 2, we met the cabin and crew, communication and documents. Now we open up the engine room itself, and yes, Copilot is down here too. The engine room has 4 main components, and each one maps to a part of the aircraft. Power Automate is the autopilot. It handles the repetitive routines. Power Apps is the hangar, where you build custom tools for your specific operation. Power BI is your real-time analytics, turning data into live dashboards. And Power Pages is your passenger in-flight service, the portals people outside your team interact with directly. Across all 4, Copilot does the same job. It explains, it suggests, and it builds from plain English. Let's start with Component 1, Power Automate. Think about how Autopilot works. The captain sets the heading, the altitude, and the speed once, and the system holds it. Power Automate is your organizational autopilot. You define a route one time, and it runs automatically every time the trigger fires. A form gets submitted, an email comes in. Here's an example. The cockpit instruction. Build a flow that sends a Teams notification to my manager when a new item is added to the project requests list. The Copilot responds, flow created. The trigger, when a new item is added to the list. The action, send a Teams message to your manager with the item title, the submitter name, and a direct link. Ready to activate. Now here's the most important distinction in this whole series, and it's the one people get wrong. Copilot and the autopilot are not the same thing. Copilot is powered by artificial intelligence. It suggests the flow, explains how it works, and builds it from your plain English request. But Power Automate itself is rule-based. Once that flow is running, it does not think, and it does not adapt. It just executes the exact route the captain programmed. So remember it this way. The suggestion is Copilot. The route is Autopilot. 2 different systems working together. Component 2 is Power Apps, and this is the hangar. The hangar is where a standard aircraft gets customized for one specific airline, adjusting the instruments and the layout for the routes it actually flies. Power Apps is exactly that. It's where your team builds custom applications and forms tailored to how you actually operate, not standard issue. Built for your airline. Here's an example. The cockpit instruction. Build a simple equipment request form for our team, with fields for the requester name, equipment type, justification, and date, and connect it to a SharePoint list. The Copilot responds, App created, a 3-screen canvas app. Screen 1 is the request form, Screen 2 is a confirmation screen, and Screen 3 is a read-only view of previous requests, all connected to a new SharePoint list. Component 3 is Power BI, your real-time flight analytics. Up in the cockpit, the instruments tell the captain how the flight is performing right now, surfacing what matters so they can focus on flying instead of doing the math by hand. Power BI connects to your data sources and turns them into live dashboards. And here's where Copilot shines. You can interrogate that data in plain English without writing a single DAX formula. Here's an example. The cockpit instruction. Summarize this dashboard for my monthly leadership report in plain English under 100 words. The Copilot responds, overall revenue is tracking 6% ahead of target. Customer satisfaction held at 4.2. The support backlog grew by 14%. And one item worth flagging, the Atlantic region's enterprise segment has declined 3 months running, and it's the largest risk to your year-end target. Component 4 is Power Pages, your passenger in-flight services. Think about the screen in the back of the seat. It's the interface passengers use to interact with the airline directly. They're not crew, and they can't get into the cockpit. Power Pages does the same job. It builds external-facing portals on top of your Microsoft 365 data, so clients and the public can interact with your systems through a controlled front door. Here's an example. The cockpit instruction. Create a client support request page, where clients submit a request. Describe the issue, and select a priority level, connected to our case management SharePoint list. The Copilot responds, page created. It includes a request title field, a description text area, and a 3-level priority selector. On submission, a new item is created in your SharePoint list, and a unique reference number is shown to the client. Now here's where it comes together. The real power of the engine room is not 4 separate tools. It's a single, connected ecosystem. So let's run a scenario. Picture a mid-sized professional services firm processing a client request. We're going to watch one piece of data move through the entire engine in under 30 seconds, and nobody touches it manually. Watch it move. Step 1, the trigger. A client submits a service request through the portal. That's Power Pages. Step 2, the routing. The moment they hit submit, your organizational autopilot fires. Power Automate creates the record, assigns the request, emails the client, and notifies the team's channel. Step 3, the triage. The service manager opens their custom dashboard in Power Apps, built exactly for how their team works, and sees it waiting. And step 4, oversight. The operations director looks at the live analytics in Power BI and just asks Copilot for the average response time. The trend is there instantly. Pages feeds Automate. Automate feeds Apps. Apps feeds BI. One connected engine. Before we wrap, 3 things worth holding on to. First, the distinction. When Copilot helps you build a flow, that's the AI. The flow itself is rule-based and doesn't adapt. Second, accessibility. This engine used to need developers. Today, a plain English description generates working screens, flows, and dashboards, and your organization very likely already has the licenses. And third, your starting point. Find the friction. Every organization has a process being done by hand today that shouldn't be. An emailed form, a Monday morning Excel report. Start there. One quick pro tip on finding that friction. You don't need to build anything from scratch. The fastest way into organizational autopilot is the templates section inside Power Automate. Microsoft has pre-built templates for hundreds of common business scenarios: approvals, notifications, document routing. And Copilot's role here is simple. It can explain any of those templates in plain English and instantly customize one to your exact situation. So the engine is running. But here's the question that opens our next series. Who's working the cabin while the captain flies? That's Series 4, where we introduce Copilot agents. Think of them as the crew that doesn't wait to be asked. Microsoft gives you the skeleton crew, and we'll show you how Copilot Studio trains the full complement. This is the Analogy Lab. Copilot does what you ask. Agents do what you would have asked before you knew you needed it. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the cabin for video 4.1.